Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, we have already done with the poem. We have seen the text and its explanation, and I've already explained the main themes. So today we are going to see the exercise questions that are there at the end of the poem. And the very first question here is identify an example of personification in the poem and how does it enhance your understanding of the bird. Well, dear students, personification means when an inanimate object is given the human attributes. So, here in this particular poem, we say that an example of personification is when grass is described as convenient as it were a human and it could think. So this enhances actually our understanding of the bird by making it simple act of drinking. He's drinking dewdrops from the grass and they appear thoughtful and deliberate. So the use of personification actually enhances our understanding of the bird by whatever the bird is doing. So I hope you must have understand the concept of personification. Alright, dear students, now we move on to the question number 2. And the question 2 is discuss the metaphor in the final stanza where the bird's flight is compared to oars divide the ocean. And the last part of the question is what effect does this comparison create? So here is the answer, dear students. In the final stanza, the metaphor actually they have given us what metaphor is being used. Metaphor is the direct comparison between two things or persons without making use of the word like or as. So oars divide the ocean. That has been compared with the bird's wing and how the oars cut the water. In the same very manner, the bird's wings is cutting the air. So this creates an image of smooth and graceful motion, and which actually emphasize the fact that the bird has a very elegant flight. So that is how, dear students, you need to complete this question. Okay, now we move on to the third question of our exercise, and it is about a simile and what is its significance in the overall imagery that has been used by the poetess. Simile, dear students, is actually the indirect comparison where we use the word like as I have mentioned here. So this is a simile, like one in danger, cautious. That means that the bird's alertness here is compared to a person who is in danger. So these two things, the bird's alertness and person in danger, they have been compared, and actually it highlights the bird's vulnerability. That means that it can be damaged or it can be open to any loss, and the constant awareness of threats as the bird is living in forest. So they should be aware of their surroundings. So that is how it affects or it enhances the overall imagery that the poetess has used in this particular poem. The question number 4, dear students, is how does Dickinson use visual imagery to describe the bird's actions? Provide examples. Imagery actually means using your five senses and creating an image in the mind or through sounds and through touch, or sometimes all these types of when we use the five senses to understand anything, we said that the poet has made use of imagery. So here we are talking about the visual imagery, and the examples are such as he bit an angleworm in halves. Obviously we can see that. Then he glanced with rapid eyes. That means he was looking at all sides with his eyes, And these images actually portray the bird's natural actions, that is the first thing, and how it balances its harsh survival instinct. That means every living being has this instinct of saving his life, and although the behavior or the action is very delicate, but he has to use it, he has to be alert all the time so that he can survive in that difficult environment. So that is the impact of this imagery that poetess has used. Okay, dear students, now we move on to the question number 5, and that is, what is the effect of tactile imagery? Well, let me explain. Actually, tactile imagery is a literary device where descriptive language appeals to the senses of touch, and thereby it creates a physical sensation to the reader or listener. So here in this case, we'll see the tactile. The example of tactile imagery is, he stirred his velvet head. That is about the movement, feeling of touch or sensation, and it suggests the softness and refinement on part of the bird. And as far as the effect on tone is, it contributes to the tender or soft tone. And before this line, actually, we have already come to know that the bird, he has already cut the worm into halves. So it actually contributes to a softer, tender tone, quite contrasting to the earlier brutality or harshness of the bird by cutting the worm. So that is how the tactile imagery comes into play and makes us understand what the poetess wants to convey. Okay, now we see the question number 6, and that is, how does the mood shift from the beginning to the end of the poem, and what words or phrases help create this shift? Actually, the poem starts in the very first stanza. The poetess tells us that he bit an angleworm in halves. So from very ordinary, very harsh, that is the beginning of the poem, and it moves towards the graceful and delicate at the end, when the poetess says, or the butterflies off banks of noon leap plashless as they swim. So this shift moves the focus from the brutality that is also found in nature, but that brutality is shifted to the beauty in nature. So this is the last phrase. Actually, it helps the purpose, and it focuses, or the focus shifts from the brutality to beauty that is found in nature. All right, now we look at the 7th question, and it is, what do you think Dickinson is trying to convey about the relationship between humans and nature? And it is said that you need to support your answer with evidence from the poem. So we may write the answer that Dickinson actually conveys that human may admire nature, but obviously we do not have the power enough to control it. And how it has been conveyed in the poem? Well, at the end of the poem, the speaker, the poetess, offers the bird a crumb. That means she give the bird something to eat, but the bird was very cautious and it refuses, and it flies away, choosing independence over this offer. And that is how actually in the natural world the creatures are independent. They enjoy their independence and autonomy. That means they want to live their own life free and independently. So that is the natural word for them. The question number 8, dear students, says, how does the bird's decision to fly away rather than accept the crumb reflect broader themes of freedom and independence? Well, I believe we have already talked about this. So we may say that the bird's refusal to accept the crumbs reflects theme of freedom and independence. Uh, the way he gracefully flies away shows that true liberty lies in self-reliance. It was very easy for him, for the bird, to eat very easily, conveniently, as the poet is offering the crumb. But the bird believes in self-reliance rather than dependence on the human kindness as shown by the poetess. So that is how, dear students, you need to answer this particular question. Okay, moving on to the 9th question. It says, how does the poem explore the concept of natural beauty versus natural brutality? And we have to give examples from the text. So in fact, we see that the poem balances. It's a beautiful balance between the natural brutality, as shown, the text is here, that he bit an angleworm in halves. Definitely that shows the brutality of the bird, and in the end the natural beauty as well, when the bird flies away and his wings seems to divide the air as the oars divide the ocean. So the poetess Emily Dickinson presents nature both as harsh and delicate, and both these elements go hand in hand with each other. That means they are existing in complete harmony. So that actually is the beauty of nature, that all sorts of things are present in it. Okay, let's see the question number 10, the last of the list, I believe. And the question number 10 is, what is the significance of the speaker observing the bird without bird's knowledge? How does this affect the tone of the poem? So actually it means that the bird is aware to somewhat. So we may say the bird's awareness of being observed makes its action natural and authentic. Actually, that means it is trying to move in a natural way. So this actually adds to the tone of the poem as well, and it adds to a quite an intimate tone to the poem, which means that the reader is able to feel, to see the nature in its true form, in its true liberty and independence. So that is how the poetess has tried to explain to the reader what she has actually observed. So with that, dear students, we have come to the end of our exercise questions, and I hope the understanding and the guidance will help you to understand these questions on exercises. And no matter what the question now comes in your paper, you will be able to attempt that easily. Allah bless us all, beta, and I'll see you in the next lecture. Thank you.